There are nearly 7.5 billion humans on planet Earth, and the world's wealthiest people make up less than 1% of the total population. The world's wealthiest people all have a few things in common. They all have a strong work ethic, breakthrough ideas, and are committed to their companies and its success. According to Forbes.com, there are 2,095 billionaires in 2020, 58 fewer than a year ago. Having the pandemic of the coronavirus to mainly blame for such loss, Forbes mentions that of the billionaires who remain, 51% are actually poorer than they were last year. Let's take you through the top 10 wealthiest people of 2020. Coming in at the number 10 spot this year is 84-year-old Amacio Ortega with a net worth of $60.1 billion. He is one of the wealthiest clothing retailers in the world as the co-founder of Inditex Fashion Group, which is best known for its chain of Zara clothing stores. He owns 59% of Inditex, which has 8 brands, including Massimo Dutti and Pull & Bear, and 7,500 stores around the world. He first started out making women's bathrobes with his siblings and soon-to-be wife Rosalia Mera, who stitched some of the first items by hand in their home. It wasn't until 1975 where he and his wife opened the first Zara store. About 10 years later, he incorporated the chain into a holding company known as Inditex. Ortega enjoys investing his money in real estate in Madrid, Barcelona, and New York. In the number 9 spot this year is Sergey Brin with a net worth estimated at $60.3 billion. It's a good time to mention that at the number 8 spot is his partner, Larry Page, with a net worth of $62.6 billion. Sergey and Larry are the co-founders of Google. They co-founded Google in 1998 while the two were studying for advanced degrees in computer science at Stanford University. Imagine what life would be like without Google. Google went public in 2004 and became the most popular search engine in the world. Sergey Brin and Larry Page both later became the president and CEO of Google's parent company, Alphabet, before stepping down from their roles in December of last year. Google has since become the world's most popular search engine, receiving an average of more than 1 trillion searches a day. At the number 7 spot of the world's wealthiest people in 2020 is 64-year-old Steve Ballmer with a net worth of $65.8 billion. Ballmer is the former CEO of Microsoft, leading the company from 2000 to 2014. He was only 24 years old when he dropped out of Stanford to join his former classmate Bill Gates at the new tech startup Microsoft. His parents were unhappy about his decision, but he ultimately ended up going from earning $50,000 a year as an assistant at Microsoft to one of the wealthiest people in the world. He worked his way up in the ranks at Microsoft and made himself indispensable by becoming one of the best salesmen for IBM. Ballmer ended up overseeing Microsoft at a very difficult time after the first dot-com crash. After retiring, Ballmer bought the NBA's Los Angeles Clippers for $2 billion. Larry Ellison claims the number 6 spot with an estimated net worth of $67.4 billion. Larry Ellison went from a 2-time college dropout all the way to tech titan. He is the co-founder of Oracle, a multinational computer technology corporation that sells database software and technology, cloud-engineered systems, and enterprise software products. He founded the company in 1977 and served as CEO until September 2014. Whether yacht racing, buying whole Hawaiian islands, or trash-talking competitors, there's always a good chance we'll be surprised with what Ellison does next. The infamous Warren Buffett claims the number 5 spot of the wealthiest people in the world for 2020 with a net worth of $69.8 billion. Buffett is known as the Oracle of Omaha and is often named the most successful investor of all time. He runs Berkshire Hathaway, which owns more than 60 companies, including Geico Insurance, Duracell battery makers, and Dairy Queen. Buffett is often donating billions of dollars to charities. In 2010, he and Bill Gates launched the Giving Pledge, asking billionaires to commit to donating half their wealth to charitable causes. Now that's one nice billionaire. Coming in at number 4 most wealthiest people in the world is billionaire Mark Zuckerberg with an estimated net worth of $78.3 billion. Zuckerberg is the co-founder and CEO of Facebook, one of the most popular social media websites of the decade. While studying at Harvard University, he launched thefacebook.com, later renamed to Facebook in 2005. He launched the website as a directory where other Harvard students could enter their own personal information and photos into a template he created. The website blew up within 2 weeks as more and more students signed up. Facebook quickly became popular as users could create profiles, upload pictures, and keep in touch with friends. Facebook is still widely used today and since then has acquired other companies such as Instagram and WhatsApp, making Zuckerberg extremely profitable. Now it's time for the top 3 wealthiest people in the world in 2020. Bernard Arnault claims the number 3 spot with a net worth of $92.7 billion. Arnault is the chairman and CEO of LVMH Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, the world's leading luxury products group. He oversees an empire of 70 brands, including Sephora and Tiffany & Co. Bernard Arnault's father made a small fortune in construction, and Arnault got his start by putting up $15 million from that business to buy Christian Dior, a luxury fashion brand, in 1985. For 3 years in a row, Bill Gates has landed the number 2 spot of wealthiest people in the world with a net worth of $106.3 billion. While previously claiming the number 1 spot for so many years, Bill Gates made his fortune when he founded Microsoft in 1975 and went on to create the operating system for IBM's first personal computer. He has continued to make a fortune throughout the years. He chairs the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the world's largest private charitable foundation. Just recently, in February of this year, the Gates Foundation said it would spend up to $100 million to improve testing and treatment of the novel coronavirus. Gates loves spending his fortune on luxury vehicles, but says his primary concerns are global warming and putting an end to polio. And finally, at the number 1 spot for 3 years in a row is Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Bezos founded Amazon.com in 1994 out of his garage in Seattle. He is CEO and owns about 11% of the company now. After 25 years of marriage, Jeff divorced his wife Mackenzie in 2019 and transferred a hefty amount of Amazon's stake to her, making her one of the richest women in the world. Amazon.com first started off selling books across the United States. After going public in 1997, it became a place where traditional retailers could launch their own e-commerce sites. It offered sales of CDs and videos and later moved to clothes, electronics, toys, and more through major retail partnerships. As we all know now, Amazon has continued to flourish and is one of the most widely used websites to purchase online. In 2019, Amazon notched $280.5 billion in revenues and a record $11.5 billion in net profit. Bezos also owns the Washington Post and Blue Origin, an aerospace company that is developing a rocket for commercial use. And there you have it, the top 10 wealthiest people in the world. They all started out somewhere, but ended up extremely successful.